Now, the pandemic, of course, has caused massive upheaval and prompted a whole raft of new measures to ensure people have a bit of financial support. Nick Sheridan is here now with an update to help you get to grips with the next stage of this. Hi, Nick.
Hello, Martin. How are things? Yes, there are, of course, expiry dates on some support that's been put in place to help those whose finances have been hit. So dust off your diaries because we do have a few dates and deadlines for you all. First of all, let's start with the furlough scheme. Now, we've talked a lot about this on the show before. Essentially, it is that scheme that employees get 80% of their wages paid up to £2,500. Now, the scheme's been extended until October, but a change is coming between now and then. So the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, there he is now, will ask companies to start sharing the cost from around August. And from then, employers currently using the scheme might be able to bring furloughed employees back part-time, perhaps. Right now, such employees cannot do any work whatsoever for the company. If you have been furloughed, keep talking to your employer and remember to do no work for them until the rules change later on in the summer. Briefly, if you have been made redundant or you are already unemployed, then you can always apply for universal credit. So the amount that you receive will vary depending on your situation. If you are still in serious financial difficulty after receiving universal credit, then crisis grants are also available from the Scottish Welfare Fund. Now, last week I gave you the rundown on the self-employment support scheme, that lump sum available to some self-employed people who meet certain criteria. Now, while we know that the furlough scheme is being extended, we don't have the same clarity around this particular scheme. It will cover 3 months worth of pay, which would last up until kind of next month, and then we don't know. We are expecting to hear pretty soon what's going to happen. There could be a reduction in the grant amount down from that £7,500, or there could be a narrowing of criteria, which means that fewer people would be eligible, so do watch this space. Now, if you are a homeowner, then you may have been taking a mortgage payment holiday, which basically allowed you to defer payments without affecting your credit score, though interest, of course, is still building up. So these started in March and covered 3 months, which meant that the people who got on board quite early in the scheme would be facing payments again in June. However, under new proposals from the Financial Conduct Authority, people can now extend or apply to extend their holiday for a further 3 months. So the date for homeowners to apply for an extension has itself been extended until the end of October. So if someone applied for one then, it would take them up to January of next year. Now, foreign travel, and not just holidays, but non-essential travel of any sort, is still being heavily discouraged, regardless of what flight deals are online or what countries are opening themselves up to the world. When it comes to booking holidays, it's the policy from the Foreign Office that we need to pay attention to in the coming weeks. That's because airlines and travel insurance companies usually take their lead from these pieces of advice here. Now, the only tricky thing is because the advice is indefinite, it could in theory change next week, or it could change next month, leaving customers unsure of their rights if they want to book now. So keep a close eye on the Foreign Office website when the advice does change. That will have a knock-on effect on whether or not future cancellations will cost you money. Now, let's run through a super quick whip round of some other dates to look out for in the summer months. First of all, if you run a business, you can defer the payment of VAT due up until the 30th of June, and then we're told the payment will be due again. If you are struggling to repay personal loans or credit card debt, you have up until the 9th of July to apply for a 3-month credit payment. Later in July is the deadline to apply for a payment holiday on your car finance, the 27th of July. Your lender cannot repossess the vehicle if you're struggling to make payments due to COVID. They are obliged to try and make things easier for you. If you can't afford insurance payments, one of the options available to you is to ask for a payment deferral. 1 month, 2 month or 3 month. The deadline to apply is the 18th of August, and self-assessed income tax payments due in July can now be deferred until the 31st of January 2021. That is what we know about the help available in the months to come. Do stay tuned to BBC News for developments as we have them, Martin.
Amazing, all the stuff that's happened in the last few weeks, isn't it?
It really is.
The font of all knowledge as ever. Nick Sheridan.
Thanks. Cheers, Martin.
Rebecca.